Good.
Thing took forever to turn on today. Sorry we're late. If anybody was,
Waiting eagerly.
Yeah.
There was probably a couple. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of the regulars pop in, but welcome.
Oh,
Celtics
man.
versus Pistons. Normal tip-off time. I don't know about you, but I am really freaking happy about that.
I gotta tell you, I am thrilled. I'm not a fan of anything past like 8 o'clock. It starts to become a problem.
All right, well that's like a little crotchety old man, but like
Well,
it could
no, because
have been later.
I have I have things I need to do in the morning when I get up. I gotta be energized. I can't be dead when I wake up. I got things to do.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. For like post-game stuff, I'm probably up past. I think I was probably up past 2:30 on Monday, and that was I got hosed on Monday. Monday was rough. I was working at the liquor store from 4 to 9. Howdy, Jackin. Yeah, that was rough. I didn't enjoy that, but I mean, hey, it was a solid win. I mean, they
Great game.
almost lost the game there at the end. Almost let go of the rope, but fortunately, they pulled through. And this is a Pistons team that's going to be annoying. I'll say that much. Who's going to win the game tonight? The Celtics, because there's no other reason why. No, the reason why is that they've got the better players. They should.
I got to tell you, I don't know. Last year, these games were a real pain in the ass. I got to tell you, this Pistons team, I was real high on them coming into the season. I remembered, I said, oh man, they were a real pain in the Celtics' ass last season. They might as well be a pain in everyone else's ass this season. They probably got better, and they're not. They're 2-9. Not great.
Don't want to sleep on them though,
2 wins.
They're still gonna be a pain in the butt.
It would be classic Celtics to lose this game, though. I will say that.
I will do one further, and I will say it would be classic Detroit Pistons to come in here and just like have like an insane shooting night. I mean, it's a different team now at this point too. They've had some turnaround. Hey, Landon, welcome. Even Wilts. So it's Detroit's one of those teams where you know that they should play better, and they've got some young pieces there that they're still building around. And it was, I think Jack talked about it, potentially them trying to go after Grant once he, hits restricted free agency in the offseason. But they also did extend Bogdanovich, right?
Yeah.
So they've got him under contract now. So he's a good veteran shooter for them. And Cade Cunningham obviously is a good player, but I'm just wondering what's not clicking for them. I mean, it does come down to fit. It comes down to coaching too, some inexperience here and there, but I guess we'll kind of see what happens. But I don't know. I think this obviously is a team that they should beat, but there is the history there of letting these kind of teams come in and sneak one by you. But I think after just the way that the team is talking about how they want to try and play on defense, how they want to try and communicate, how they want to switch, I think they'll come ready tonight. I just got a good feeling about it.
Well, I did see online today that the Celtics have, of course, the number one offensive rating in the league. They're at 118 for their offensive rating, and the Pistons have the lowest defensive rating. So take that for what it's worth. I also saw that the Pistons have one of the best scoring lineups in the league, which is made up of, oh boy, Sam, you should have been ready when you were talking. But I believe it's like Cunningham, Bogdanovich, Sadiq Bey.
Oh God, Sadiq Bey. Yep. Sadiq Bey scares me.
Killer. Let's see. Come on.
That's going to be one of those ones that's going to haunt them for a while, isn't it? That Sadiq Bey pick.
I'd say Desmond Bane because they actually picked him.
Yeah, well, that one hurts because he's like gone on to be way better than a lot of people expected.
Highest scoring 5-man lineup this season via StatMuse. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Bogdanovich, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. So take that for what it's worth.
Beef stew. It's an excellent nickname.
Evan would like to know what's in the glass.
Focal Banger, actually. Yeah, Focal Banger. They had a 4-pack of it at the store. It's my future father-in-law's store.
Dennis, I only played the over for 50 units. The over might be a good play though, because we were just saying, how Celtics best offense, Pistons worst defense, and the Pistons have the best scoring lineup in the league when they put those 5 together. So it could be a high-scoring game at the Garden tonight for sure. Jack is there. He's too big for us right now. He said he's sitting between 2 people, but I don't think he just wants to give us the time. It's kind of brutal. Guy goes big time now. He's got his little badge. He's probably got around his neck. I got one back there. You see it. I was first.
You're really gonna be.
I went to the playoffs.
Hey, that's true. I'll be there soon enough. I almost went like a week ago. Actually,
you should go.
I will. I'm supposed to be recording for pressers and stuff because to give everyone the lowdown, there used to be access via Zoom for a lot of these recordings. So most of the time people were able to just go ahead, tune in on the Zoom screen recorder or something like that, or the league would provide it. That way teams would be able to, have media sessions remotely. Instead, now you've got the whole situation where some teams are actually still doing it. I want to say the Heat might. I think we got recordings from the Heat, but there's a couple other teams that you just don't have Zoom for. So Celtics being one of them. So the only way that you actually get access is by being on site and recording. So that's what I'm probably going to end up doing at some point soon. I almost went for the Celtics Wizards game, which was, I think, October 30th.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't because it was my mom's birthday. But
wasn't that a pain in the ass? How inconsiderate. I mean, Tim,
they asked me last minute, and I was like, I really can't. I really can't.
His mom, the nerve to celebrate another year on the planet. I mean, that is unbelievable. Truly.
Unforgivable.
All right, let's talk about it. It's 7:10. We've done 10 minutes. Ime Udoka, not the next coach of the Brooklyn Nets. How about that? What a turn it has taken.
I can't give the Nets credit for this. I can't. I hope, I don't think anyone is, but you can't give the Nets credit for this. They are strictly just doing this based off of optics, and they were like, you gotta give them credit. No, they did the right thing. It's like after they were about to do the worst thing possible given the circumstances. I'm still interested to see how this whole Irving situation is going to pan out because there's no way he's going to go through and do that list of things. All of those things are completely reasonable. Some of them he was supposed to be doing already. So it's just crazy to me that they're in that situation, but it seems like they really like Jacques Vaughn. Apparently the players really like him. He's getting the most out of that locker room. They're really buying in. They've looked better on the court. They don't have that distraction hanging around with them. So who knows? Maybe this is a turning point for the Nets. I wouldn't hold my breath for it because you still can't fix a bad defense if the personnel's just not there. But if the vibes are better, Kyrie is a different animal. Yes, Jack. And is he a different animal, but the same beast?
Tell you what, he's the same pain in the ass. It doesn't matter where he goes. I will say this. It's not, you're absolutely right. Nobody's giving the Nets credit. There is no, you got to give them credit. They already stepped into the pond, which is not a saying, but that's what came to my mind. They already went in this far. They said, we're going to do it. Hey, everybody, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Everyone look at us. And then they didn't do it. So now everyone's like, hey, the Nets are scumbags and they got nothing from it.
Yeah.
If I'm the Nets at this point, you just got to go all in. You got to lean into it. You have gone in this far. You said, all right, we're going to hire Udoka after all this stuff. And by the way, them not hiring him does tell me, I said this to everyone in our chat today, but it tells me whatever is going on is real serious because when they were going to hire him, I had the opposite thing. I was like, if Brooklyn's going to hire him, the people in the front office have to know what's going on. And they don't think it's that serious and they're going to hire him. But now they've decided not to hire him. People have told him not to hire him. So it tells me the Celtics are doing the correct thing, which was the case the whole time. But it's more clear now. When things get shaken up, they're going to hire this guy and the Celtics aren't going to let him coach. What's the difference? Who's wrong here? But now we know. Well, yeah, they were about to hire Udoka. You had Kyrie running around tweeting stuff that he didn't know what it meant, apparently, or whatever his excuse was, but he refused to apologize. And then he donated money, and then they said, we don't want your money. I mean, you got to just – everyone's going to say you're a scumbag anyway. You might as well benefit from it. You got to get something out of it. Seriously, like
You
just be a heel,
doubled
be
and
like a
tripled
bad guy
down on this,
wrestler.
man. It's hilarious. This is when we originally talked about this. He's like, "No, it's too far gone. You just got to go all in, just like full
Seriously,
tilt." It's
no, but
crazy.
really,
Why
like,
would you suggest that?
what do you mean?
He
Why would I
kind of
suggest that?
already
If you're
did.
the
He
Nets,
doubled
what do
down.
you
If you're
have
the
to
Nets,
lose? If you're the Nets, what do you have to lose?
well,
Nothing. Everyone's
yeah.
already saying you're scumbags. You might as well get something out of it.
I mean, I don't think they
Now
were
you're
gonna get anything
scumbags
good
and you
out
still
of it.
suck, and you didn't get the coach that people think is good. He's just a creep,
Well,
which
in
is
my
not just a creep, but
yeah, my thought process too is I don't know if you noticed. Did you read a whole little article that Shams put out on the
no, it's
Athletic?
behind a paywall.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then hang on.
I saw the screenshot though.
Okay, did you read all of it?
It was like mostly like people got with it, and then they said no. They said we don't want this.
Well, yeah, they went through it and basically after continuing to do some deeper vetting, they were like, "Oh no, this is a bad idea." And also people were telling them "Yeah, you should not do this." But that also means like you said, it's probably worse than what we ever thought it was in terms of what
I
Udoka
sure would
did.
like to know. I got to tell you, I would love to know.
I think we'll find out eventually,
I
but
don't
it's
need
not going to
everybody's
come out
name. I
all
just
at
want to know what he
once.
did. That's all I
Yeah.
want to know.
Well, I think that's what's going to ultimately end up happening. And I think the Celtics were happy to let him go because it meant that they didn't have to worry about paying him. He was going to end up coming off their books. And then on top of that, you're getting rid of this distraction. And now it's at a point where it's like, okay, the Nets optics look terrible here. They let their they just went all in to get this guy, and then they had to walk it back because
That's what I'm saying. Like you
they
went
didn't
all
even
in.
sign him
You
yet. They
went
didn't
all
even put
in. You got the bad press. Kyrie's getting you the bad press.
no pen
Marks
to
is
paper,
saying it's
man.
all a big fuss, and he really doesn't care. Like you are in this far, you might as well benefit from it. Like
I don't know if they would
you
have though.
stirred
That's the
up all
thing.
this mess, and you're getting nothing. You still suck. You
I mean,
didn't get your man.
they put the pen to paper on it. Or they didn't. They hadn't even gotten to that point.
Then don't
But
leak it,
yeah,
dummies.
well, also one thing that was interesting too. I want to know when the Celtics again. I talked about this before when the first news came out, but Shams admitted, reported in that article that they had talked to Udoka before they fired Nash, 2 days before they
Yeah.
fired Nash. So when did they get permission to ask the Celtics? That's the thing, because if they didn't get permission to ask the Celtics if they could go after Udoka, and then they went ahead and did it, that means that they 100% were tampering. So if this ends with them getting tampering charges levied against them, and their optics are ruined, you're muted. Sam, you're muted.
Is it
Sorry,
bad or is it
you're
my?
back. No, you're back.
I have this wire for this mic, and it hangs like where my knee is. So if I move my leg and hit it, the ever so sensitive mic comes unplugged.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I completely agree with this. It just comes unplugged every time. What was I saying?
Be nice, Jack. Oh, of course. He can't show up, but he will show up to heckle. I
No,
love that
good
kind
on
of
him.
energy.
I don't blame him. I am a moron. What the hell was I saying? I had something funny I was saying too. I'm very upset.
Yeah, all right. Well,
My
fine.
day is ruined.
If you want to, I can ramble for a little bit until you find your groove back. If you want.
What were we talking? We were talking about.
I was talking about how
Udoka.
the Nets are going to get
tampering.
charged with
Tampering.
tampering.
The NBA's equivalent of the death penalty.
Well,
It's
I
the
mean,
same
if
thing.
it costs you 2 seconds,
I
it
mean,
might.
talk about a slap on the wrist.
I think the funniest thing was the 76ers getting fined 2 second-round picks for tampering with PJ Tucker, and then also getting tampering charges for talking to Daniel House.
Like, who cares?
You lost a second-round pick because you were talking to Daniel House. You couldn't wait until free agency hit to talk to Daniel House.
I don't think any team is weeping that they're losing second-round picks. They'll gladly
They
take
make
the
a
guys
difference.
that they signed.
They make a difference, though. That's the thing. And if you hit on a second round, come on. There's been way too many good second rounders at this point.
No, there are good second rounders, but let's not act like they should be heartbroken about that.
But I mean, it
that's
also
not
gives you less
keeping
trade
anybody from
flexibility.
tampering. If you can go and get a player, regardless if it's Daniel House or James Harden or PJ Tucker, you're gonna do it.
If it's a bigger name and it costs a first round pick, then it would. Yeah. I think that'll make a difference. I'm just waiting for the NBA to start doing what the NFL does with compensatory picks. I would love that. Yeah, well, like that kind of so the way that it works in the NFL, at least, and
I'm
mind
bad. I
you,
don't follow football, dude.
so
I
like
hate it.
the
Sorry,
cap,
chat.
all good. Cap space works very differently in the NFL. They have a soft cap, and they also have the idea of when, let's say, you have a free agent, you can put a tender on that guy. So, like, for example, when Malcolm Butler first left the Patriots, they put a first round tender on him. And basically, when he got, I think it was a first round tender, it might have been a second or a third, but basically, the team goes out and signs him. Oh, don't even get me started on Gert. Yabu wasn't a second rounder though, was he? He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. I think he was
No,
like
him
16th.
and
Egg
Ante
on
Zizic were.
Jack's face. Jack trying to come in the chat and be a troll.
Gershwan Yabusele was not a second rounder.
Someone go take
Carson
his
Edwards
badge away.
was, though.
Someone
Carson
take
Edwards
his badge
was.
away. He doesn't know. He's not bright enough to be there.
Yeah, even worse. Yeah, don't get me started about that pick. Oh,
Security.
God. That's a terrible pick, man. Looking back, that's a
What are you
bad
gonna
pick.
do?
But basically, like when NFL free agents sign and they're on a tender like that, the team that signs them has to give up a pick. So they lose a second rounder by doing that. You just got to press the button on here. You got to press the button. What kind of mic do you have? Do you have the new blackout, like the Yeti?
I have a Yeti Blue, but it's not any button. It's the wire. It's sensitive, and if I touch it, it moves and comes unplugged.
You got to set it up in a certain way that you're not touching it. Since I got a new desk and everything, I did a lot of wire management, so it's like all nice and neat. Everything's like tied together.
It's a mobile
desk.
It's
pretty nice.
Well,
then there you go.
And move it to the side of my room.
I think I need to. I think I need to get a travel mic or something, but I digress. In terms of this matchup tonight, we've got someone talking about the over-under 50 units on what, plus 226? So 226.
Are you actually putting 50 units on that, Dennis?
That feels like a lot.
That is a lot.
For someone who doesn't gamble regularly, what is a unit? Like, what is that?
A unit is however much you bet. So say you don't gamble a lot, right? And geez, man. If you don't gamble a lot and you don't want to bet a lot and you just bet like $10 a game or $10 a play, that $10 is your 1 unit. So a unit is whatever you usually bet. So 50 times that is what he has. He says he has.
Damn.
Dennis confirming, saying yes.
Wow. All right. Well, I mean, more power to you. Either way, though, like they could reach that. Like if you think about it, if the Celtics really blow well, I think if the Celtics take their foot off the accelerator, $5
units.
Damn. Okay.
That's $250.
That's a lot of money. That's what it's doing here.
It's Sam doing math. How you like that?
Yeah, rattling it off real good.
Jack, by the way, saying, fun fact, last Celtics second round pick who made an actual impact in the league was Etwan Moore. So there you go. I'm out on the second round pick. Jack knows this.
Really
We've had many of debate about I think this very topic with the
I think if you can find a diamond in a rough, though,
you can. Second round. Jokic was a second round pick. Jay Crowder was a second round pick. Jimmy Butler was a second round pick.
Draymond Green.
Second round
pick. Isaiah Thomas.
There you go. I mean, it's funny, though. You don't even need the second round pick anymore. You got all these undrafted guys that are almost just as good.
Fred VanVleet. Malcolm Brogdon, second round pick. Yep, that too. Another perfect example.
How about that?
There's a lot of players you can give the second rounder. It's just, yeah. And that's also, I agree with that, Jack. It's really a matter of teams being able to read a situation and somehow make a second rounder pan out. And I mean, specifically for the Nuggets with Jokic, like that's an incredible one. Like they developed him so much. And that's power to the player as well as the organization. I've said it so many times before on pregame, but I think players are so much a product of their environment. And if you set a player up to fail, it can completely derail a career. Exhibit A, look at any of like the top 5 picks that the 76ers have had over the past like 10 years. How many of them are like not in the league anymore or are on a completely different franchise and they're nowhere near what they were supposed to be? Like Fultz, Okafor, Michael Carter-Williams, Evan Turner. Who else am I forgetting? Nerlens Noel.
Hey, you leave Evan Turner out of this.
Well, I know, but I like ET, but like come on, but like it's
he was a good Celtic. He was
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons now. You think you got to throw Ben Simmons in that conversation now?
Evan Turner in there.
Who else did they take in the top 5 of the draft in the past few years that just did not turn out?
I think you got all of them. A lot
I
of
think
them.
those are the big ones.
Lakers too, man. They
Yeah,
gave up on all their guys before they panned out to be anything.
Cavs look really bad with that Bennett pick. That was a pretty bad one for a while.
That may be one of the worst picks ever.
That might be one of the worst picks ever. I don't even blame him. I don't blame the player for that. Like the expectations for him were crazy.
Interesting. All right. We're talking about it. Picks of the night presented by Smash the Odds at Smash Odds. So far, these picks that they have given us have been 5-2 on the pregame, just so you know. He likes Raptors total points over 116.5. My pick. I agree with Dennis. I like the over for the Celtics game, man. And I told you why earlier. Celtics number 1 offense. Detroit last rated defense. Detroit also has the best 5 scoring as a unit. So there you go. It could be a high scoring game. Good luck. Tim, do you have any selections? Anything you like? Jack,
No,
I know you're in
I
here,
got
Jack.
nothing to look at.
Jack has been probably better than me.
I want to see
That's
what the
for
over
sure.
under is for Grants on threes.
Well, it's been at a half, which is why I haven't been giving it, which is lame. And let's see, did they put out the Hauser threes? I've been begging for them to put Hauser out on
They're
the
not going to put the
apps,
Hauser threes out because that's either going to be easy money for the better or it's
Well, they can skew the odds. They're just afraid. The guys,
yeah,
I'd trust him with my life. Forget Powerball, dude. Just double your net worth.
The death rays aimed at the planet, and I got one shot.
Here we go. We are
I'm going Sam Hauser.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, the Tatum draft where Danny hoodwinked the 76ers. I still think Fultz could be a good player. I just think, it was the environment.
Grant Williams back to 1.5 threes. Plus 118 if you like that. I kind of like it. That's always been my favorite pick. But
yeah,
Grant
solid.
As a starter doesn't do a whole lot. Just telling you right now, he doesn't do a whole lot when he starts. Besides Game 7.
I want to see them push it, though. I want to see them push the pace because then they'll be able to find him. He's going to get in that corner office a little bit. They had some really good ball movement in that Grizzlies game. Had a good run in the second half. So I want to see how they can try and piece together some run against a team that they should, by all means, wipe the floor with. But
yeah, the Celtics, just the last 2 games have been real fun to watch. You've got great ball movement throughout. Obviously, in New York on Saturday, they set a franchise record for threes. Monday night, another nice showing from both Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum. Smart, excellent in both those games. Going forward, I'm really interested to see how he's going to keep it up. He's showed throughout last season that he can be a reliable point guard. These last 2 games, he's really picked it up after a slow start to the season, was kind of sloppy over the first 6 games. The shooting was definitely down. He's found his footing a bit behind the arc. And again, just pinging the ball around, dude. 23 assists over the last 2 games, only 3 turnovers to go along with it. And then Tatum making the case to be the MVP. Look at that, dude. 7-3, 31 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists for Tatum to start the season. And he's just looking like a whole different guy. I am watching these games and I can trust him. That hasn't been a thing for me. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm not a hater. I don't hate Tatum, never did, but I wouldn't be super confident in him or the team down the stretch. And he's figured it out. He's getting himself to the line 9 times a game.
That's gross.
3 more times than he did last season.
Though. And I mean, I will say this too. I think overall his demeanor has changed. Not even just a matter he has to be aggressive in order to get to the line. He had a moment in that Grizzlies game where he had that nasty dunk where JB kicked it ahead to him and got that one-hander, and he's just talking his shit. That was incredible. One of those iconic moments where he's just locked in, ready to go. So just good stuff to see, I think.
I mean, he looks like he's the leader out there.
Is Jack checking in?
No, sorry. Tatum has looked like a leader. You're absolutely right. His demeanor's changed. He's still complaining. Still loves to throw the old arms up there.
A little bit. little
but
bit,
we're
right?
finally seeing the strength that we heard about all last season. All this talk about his muscles, all the weight he put on, the extra strength he should have. And, it's finally looking like it matters. Again, getting to the free throw line 9 times a night, shooting, I think like 90%, if I'm not wrong. Could be lower. He missed those 2 at the end of the game on Monday, but he's real reliable. And that's really the telltale of what makes a real star in this league is how well they can get themselves to the line. Because when the jumper's not falling and the offense isn't necessarily working, the free throw line is the same every time. It's what it is.
That's true.
And he is 5th in the league in made free throws per game, joins Luka, Kevin Durant, Trae Young, Giannis. Good company.
Elite company, one would
Yep.
say.
Absolutely.
Well, do we want to call it?
Yes. 7:29.
Best get to
I
your
I
seat.
only say that because I hate being late to the game.
I got food
Hate
to
it.
eat too. Cooked dinner beforehand, so I gotta chow down while I watch
And
the
I'm
game.
hungry. Yeah, I had a Rice Krispie treat. Let me tell you, I never was allowed to have them as a kid. Fantastic.
Why not? Just
Dude, they're so
too much sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Probably just like didn't need the energy, and they were like, no, you're good. It's fine.
Jack says 3:30 on the Jumbotron timer. Well, thank you for staying, Jack. Jack,
like,
very quiet.
Just in case you're
very
wondering what the
quiet when I
timestamp
asked him
is.
for a pick, but all of a sudden wants to chime in. He said, "Hey, everyone, I'm there still." Big time. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like. He already commented a lot of his. I do complain when I'm late. Make sure you subscribe. How about them Celtics podcast? Fantastic. We've been getting subs on YouTube. We got all the pods there, all the shorts. Tim's got the vitamin C's. Go check that out. And you can follow him at Tim Shields NBA on Twitter. You can follow the pod at How About Them C's on Twitter. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA on Twitter. I'm not muted. And I'm putting articles out now. How about that? I'm back. I'm back on Houdini. I'm ending it now. I'm never ready to end.